Welcome to our video on the transformative power of silence. Have you ever noticed how loud the world around us has become? Take a moment to listen. What do you hear? The constant buzz of traffic, the chatter of people, the ping of notifications on your phone, the hum of appliances, or maybe even the sound of your own thoughts racing through your mind. Our world is filled with noise, and it's getting louder every day. This constant barrage of sound isn't just a minor annoyance. It's a real problem that affects our daily lives in ways we might not even realize. Think about how hard it is to concentrate when there's constant noise around you, or how stressed you feel when you can't find a moment of peace. The noise in our environment can have serious consequences for our mental health, our productivity, and even our relationships. But what if there was a simple, powerful tool that could help us combat this noise pollution and bring more balance to our lives? That tool is silence. Not just the absence of external noise, but a deeper, more profound silence that can transform our minds, bodies, and spirits. In this video, we're going to explore the incredible power of silence and how it can change your life. We'll look at what true silence really means, dive into the science behind its benefits, and discover practical ways to bring more quiet into your daily routine. Let's start by understanding what we mean by true silence. It's more than just the absence of sound. True silence is a state of inner calm and stillness. It's a quieting of not just the external world, but also the internal chatter of our minds. This kind of silence can be found even in the midst of noise when we learn to tune into it. There are different types of silence we can experience. There's the silence we find in meditation, where we deliberately quiet our thoughts. There's the silence of nature, like the stillness of a forest or the quiet of a starry night. And there's the silence that exists between people, those meaningful pauses in conversation that can speak volumes. The science behind silence is fascinating. Research has shown that spending time in quiet can actually change our brains. When we're in silence, our brains aren't just resting. They're actively processing information, consolidating memories, and even growing new cells. Studies have found that periods of silence can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and boost our immune systems. Silence also has a powerful effect on our cognitive functions. It can improve our focus, enhance our creativity, and help us make better decisions. When we step away from the constant input of noise and information, our brains have a chance to recharge and work more efficiently. Throughout history, many cultures have recognized the value of silence. Ancient spiritual traditions often included practices of silence, like meditation or contemplative prayer. In more recent times, there's been a renewed interest in these practices as people seek ways to find peace in our noisy world. So how can we bring more silence into our lives? It doesn't mean we have to completely shut ourselves off from the world. Instead, we can start with small, practical steps. Try setting aside a few minutes each day for quiet reflection. This could be first thing in the morning during your lunch break or before you go to bed. During this time, turn off all devices and simply sit in silence. You might also consider going on a silent retreat. These can range from a few hours to several days and provide an opportunity to experience extended periods of silence. If that seems too daunting, start with a technology break. Set aside some time each day or week where you turn off all your devices and enjoy the quiet. For many people, the idea of silence can be uncomfortable at first. We're so used to constant stimulation that quiet can feel strange or even scary. If you find yourself feeling anxious in silence, start small. Try just a minute or two at first and gradually increase the time as you become more comfortable. As you practice incorporating silence into your life, you may start to notice some changes. Many people report feeling more centered and calm. They find it easier to focus on tasks and feel more creative. Relationships often improve as people become better listeners and more present in their interactions. The benefits of silence don't just stay with the individual. They can ripple out to affect our communities and even our world. Think about the power of silent protests, where the absence of noise speaks louder than words. Or consider how leaders who practice mindfulness and reflection often make more thoughtful decisions that benefit many. In our increasingly digital age, finding silence can be a challenge. but it's more important than ever. As we spend more time connected to devices, we need to consciously create spaces for quiet in our lives. This might mean designing our homes and workplaces with quiet zones, or advocating for more green spaces in our cities where people can find moments of peace. The future of silence is in our hands. By recognizing its value and actively incorporating it into our lives, we can create a more balanced, peaceful world. It starts with each of us making a commitment to find moments of quiet in our day. As we've explored in this video, silence is more than just the absence of noise. It's a powerful force that can transform our minds, bodies, and spirits. It can reduce stress, improve our health, boost our creativity, and deepen our relationships. In a world that's constantly getting louder, cultivating silence is a radical act of self-care and a step towards creating a more peaceful society. So what can you do to bring more silence into your life? Start small. Try setting aside just 5 minutes a day for quiet reflection. Turn off your devices, find a comfortable spot, and simply sit in silence. Notice how you feel before and after. You might be surprised at the difference even a short period of quiet can make. As you become more comfortable with silence, you can expand your practice. Maybe you'll decide to take a longer technology break on the weekends, or perhaps you'll seek out quiet spaces in nature where you can recharge. Whatever form it takes, making space for silence in your life is a gift you give to yourself and to those around you. Remember, cultivating silence is a skill that takes practice. Don't get discouraged if you find it challenging at first. Our minds are used to constant stimulation, so it's natural for thoughts to keep popping up when we try to be quiet. The key is to gently redirect your attention back to the silence without judgment. One way to deepen your experience of silence is to combine it with other mindfulness practices. For example, you might try a body scan meditation where you slowly bring your attention to different parts of your body while sitting in silence. Or you could practice mindful breathing, focusing on the sensation of your breath moving in and out while enjoying the quiet. Another powerful practice is to bring more moments of silence into your daily interactions. Try pausing before you respond in conversations, giving yourself a moment to really listen and consider your words. You might find that this not only brings more peace to your interactions, but also improves your communication and relationships. Silence can also be a powerful tool for problem-solving and decision-making. When we're constantly bombarded with noise and information, it can be hard to hear our own inner wisdom. By creating periods of silence, we give ourselves the space to tune into our intuition and come up with creative solutions to challenges. As you continue to explore the power of silence, you might want to learn more about different cultural and spiritual traditions that value quiet. From Zen Buddhist practices to Quaker silent meetings, there are many rich traditions that have developed around the concept of silence. Exploring these can deepen your understanding and give you new ideas for incorporating silence into your life. It's important to note that while silence can be incredibly beneficial, it's not about completely eliminating sound from our lives. Music, conversation, and even some background noise can have their place. The key is finding a balance and creating intentional periods of quiet amidst the noise of daily life. As we wrap up this exploration of silence, let's consider the broader implications of a society that values quiet. Imagine workplaces that provide quiet spaces for reflection and focus. Picture schools that teach children the value of silence and give them tools to find inner calm. Envision cities designed with areas of respite from urban noise. These are all possibilities if we recognize the importance of silence and work to protect and promote it. The power of silence is truly transformative. It offers us a path to better health, clearer thinking, deeper relationships, and a more peaceful world. In our noisy, fast-paced society, choosing to cultivate silence is a radical act of self-care and a step towards positive change. So we invite you to take the first step. After this video ends, instead of immediately moving on to the next thing, try sitting in silence for a few minutes. Notice how you feel, and then consider how you might bring more moments of quiet into your daily life. The journey into silence is deeply personal and can be profoundly rewarding. We hope this video has inspired you to begin or deepen your own exploration of the transformative power of silence. Remember, in the quiet, we often find our truest selves and our deepest insights. By making space for silence, we open ourselves to growth, healing, and transformation. So take a deep breath, find a quiet moment, and listen to the silence. You might be surprised at what you hear.